Hi, Trish here. You're probably familiar with Lewis Carroll's wonderful stories about Alice's adventures. I have many favourite quotes, and this one in particular when she meets the caterpillar and he says to her, "Who are you?" And her response is quite delightful, as only a small child can give. And she says, "I hardly know, sir. I mean, at present, well, at least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have been changed several times since then." And I'm sure we've all had our Alice moments when we were convinced we ended up down the wrong rabbit hole. 2020 is a good example of that. But what I love about these stories is Lewis talks a lot about, in the essence of what you read between the lines, the importance of keeping that childlike curiosity about life, the love of all that's possible, and keeping that imagination always growing. And just to clarify the difference between imagination and fantasy, imagination is when we're having the ideas and we've got this mental image of what we want, what we desire, and it has the possibility of actually being achieved, actually becoming real. Whereas fantasy is also produced by imagination, but it's totally unrestricted by reality. And that's why as adults we have to be careful that we don't end up down that rabbit hole too much. Because as a child we're growing and we're developing, but when we start adulting, and yes, that is a word, adulting, it's actually important that we create truth and reality for what is available to us. So getting back to imagination, we're always imagining things into reality. You think about a goal you may have had. It started with an idea. You imagined it being possible. Think about going on an amazing adventure, maybe with a friend or by yourself, the big OE. It started with an idea that you imagine it into reality. Falling in love, wanting to be with someone, growing old together. So what happens when you imagine these ideas and desires and they become a reality and then poof, they disappear? What happens when the dream job that you imagine into being, all of a sudden you find yourself redundant? Or that amazing holiday that you spent so long preparing for, saving for, tickets already bought, 2020, COVID, cancelled. And then there's your life partner who maybe prematurely dies. Maybe the relationship ends in divorce, or your partner develops dementia and doesn't know you anymore. So these are all reality that people, myself included, have had to experience parts of that. So what does it mean to reimagine what's possible? And if we look at that prefix re, it means again. And I know from my own experience, I've had to redefine some routines in my life. I've had to reconstruct some future plans because of changes that happened. I've literally had to rewrite the narrative of my story. And yet I'm always excited about reimagining what's still possible. So in my last video, I left you with just that encouragement. Give yourself permission to grieve whatever has been a loss in your life. This week, I want to leave you with just the final encouragement. Give yourself permission to reimagine what is possible, what the opportunities are still out there for you to imagine into reality. I do it every day.